Here we go. We're going to do our things. We're going to start this morning's practice just in a very basic child's pose. So come to your mat. And today's practice is just an overall like feel good flow. The weather here in New Jersey, as most of you know that are here, it's been pretty gloomy. So I think the theme of today's practice is just to make ourselves feel good. Let the knees go wide and the big toes come together. If something is going on with your feet or your ankles, you can always start on your backs in Supta Baddha Konasana. If you have blocks, just have them at the top of your mat. Spread your palms wide, anchor your hands, and let your forehead, if you can, rest to the mat. So the breath, as you know, is Ujjayi breathing, but just focus on a nice, calm, even flow of inhalation through your nose and exhalation also through your nose. And just take note of your energy level. Feel your hands spread wide, feel your outer arms firm up, feel your seat drop really far back if you can. So you begin to get this nice extension from the lower spine all the way through the crown of the head. Rock up onto all fours. If I leave you there for too long, we won't want to do anything. Have the hands directly underneath the shoulders. So rather than the width of the mat, bring them in a little bit. Shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrist. Perfect. Just stack your body here. Take your right leg and curl the toes into the mat like a half plank. So just do this much and make sure your pelvis is really neutral. Your hip points face down. Yeah. Broaden across the upper shoulders, and your dristi, your gaze, just let it move to the front edge of your mat a little bit and just find extension. Subtly draw your belly in, contract your thigh and your glute, and then with your eyes fixed forward on one spot, slowly extend your left arm forward. So your right toes are curled. Your left arm is extending forward like we're shaking hands. And the palm, my palm is facing towards my fireplace, so I know my shoulder is in the right rotation. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Your dristi on one spot. If you don't know what dristi is, that's your focus. And breathe. Just be here. Feel your toes curled into the mat. Find extension a little more. Feel your belly draw in. Firm up your right hand more. Feel your outer right tricep really grip in. Keep the left arm lifted, just the way that it is. Float your right leg all the way up to hip height. Just hip height. Hold. Keeping your eyes mounted on one spot, begin to draw your left elbow towards your right knee. So you're kind of coming across line, across the center line of your body, and you hold. And if your balance gets a little off, it's okay. Extend out, reach in opposite directions. Flex the foot. Try it again. Hug in, nice and slow. Feel your outer right tricep really grip in. Extend out, find extension. One more time. Hug in, nice and slow. Extend out and pause. Keep the lift of your right leg, bend it in half so your thigh is still parallel and your heel extends up towards the sky. Flex the foot. Keep reaching. Reach back with your left arm like you're swimming, and then see if you can get hold of your foot. And if it doesn't work, just stay in air like this. This is fine. But if you got hold of your foot, get your ankle, kick the thigh up towards the sky, keep the hips squared, and turn your chest towards the ground. Breathe. Feel the air as it just moves through the shape of your body. Take one more big breath in. And on the exhale, just release the arm and the leg in opposite directions one last time. Take the hand and the knee back down to tabletop. Pause. So don't get ahead of ourselves. Curl the left toes into the mat like you're in a half plank. Just do this much because this is really important. Your back leg gets set up like this a lot in the practice. Just pause. And notice like your mind starts to wander when you're told to just hold something and you're like, well, what do I do now? Just focus on nothing. Focus on your breath. Reach your right arm forward like you're shaking hands. Let the shoulders slide down the back. Just do this much because this may be where you have to go back to if your balance is off. Cut yourself some slack. Float the leg up, hip height, and hold. Find extension in your body. Reach across. Fix your eyes on something out in front of you just a little bit. And just feel your body make this basic shape. And see if you can contract your thigh. Make sure your hips aren't opening. Good. Now you're going to start to hug in, elbow to knee across the center line. In the center is where you're going to try and meet. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Yep. Do it again. Hug in. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Fire up. Draw the belly in. One more time. Hug in nice and tight. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Pause. Bend your left leg in half. Hold. Reach your right arm back like you're swimming. This may be as far as you go. If you get hold of your ankle, kick up, kick back. Remember, you want to take your hips and make sure they're facing towards the ground. Fire up your thigh. I like to flex my foot if that's available for you. Feel your left hand press into the mat. Feel your outer tricep hug in. Good. Take one more big breath. On the next exhale, release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Find more space. Up there I go. Hand and knee to the floor, tabletop position. Hands widen a little, curl the toes into the mat, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So take a second. Some of us get to down dog. We like to pedal it out. Move your shoulders away from the center line of your body. And breathe your hips up off your shoulders here. That's the best cue that I can give you to get you to really feel your hips moving away from your shoulders, so you're not dumping all the weight into the joints of your arms. Your arms are active and your legs are active, and just keep in mind that you can have as much bend behind your knees as you need for today. So if your hamstrings feel tight, bend your legs, and that's going to help breathe your hips up off your shoulders. Plug your fingers into the mat, focus on your thumb, your index finger, your baby finger. Draw your belly in, feel the lift of your ribs. Let the head just be free and neutral if you can, and focus on one spot that's not moving. Roll forward to plank. First one, you may need to walk it out. Stack your body. Know the alignment here. You can drop your knees at any point. You might want to take them all like that. That's fine. Bring your weight forward onto your tippy toes. Let the crown of the head extend forward. Feel the hands plug into the mat. Draw the waist up. You almost want to feel like you're leading with your chest. Yeah. And then run a lot of breath through your body here. Make your breath audible to you. Plug down to get more energy. Keep looking forward. Bend your elbows in half chaturanga, or you can simply drop your knees for a supported version of this. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Roll forward to plank. Draw your right knee to your navel. Scoop out your lower belly. Keep looking forward. Glide your right foot forward towards your right thumb. Drop your knee. Pause for a second. Your back leg is on an angle. My toes are actually curled into the mat for this version because I feel a little bit more doing it that way. Get really heavy in your hips. Yes. Make sure your right knee tracks over your ankle, and then slide the arms up to a supported lunge. Hip points are forward. Right heel digs into the mat. Outer right hip grips in. And your back thigh is on a strong angle. And if you have any sensation in your knee that you need to pad, just reach for something in your home to do that. Slide your arms forward like you're handing someone a tray of something. Firm up the sides of the triceps. Wrap your left arm underneath your right arm. These are eagle arms, Gayurasana. If you've got very long arms, it's much easier. Lift your elbows up. If your shoulder is not feeling great today, go opposite hand to opposite shoulder and cut yourself some slack. Drive the right heel into the mat. Find a dristi. Hold. You should feel a lot of energy through that back left hip flexor. You should feel a lot of energy through your right front foot. Yes. And your right hip gripping in. Try not to tug down on the arms. Lift up a little more. And then sweep your arms out and up if you have the space. Energetically reach through your fingertips. Take the hands down to the ground. Activate your back leg. Step to a plank. In your plank position, pause. Hug your left knee in. Scoop out your lower belly. Look forward a little. Press down into the mat to create more energy for yourself. Glide your left foot all the way forward and through. Come to your fingertips. Drop the knee. Same deal here. Keep the toes curled. Sweep your arms out and up or straight up, supported lunge. Get real heavy in your hips. So no matter what you do, just living life, our hip flexors, just from even sitting in a desk chair, get tight. And this is our best way to release that. Slide the arms forward. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. If you think you mix this up, don't worry about it. Just do the arm you didn't stretch yet. Lift the elbows up. And with that heaviness in your hips, make sure that your left knee tracks over your left ankle. Rather than tugging down, lift the elbows up so you get a nice stretch. Keep your neck neutral. You can look up a little with your eyes. Breathe. Grip the outer hip under you. Sweep the arms out and up. Move energy through your fingertips. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Back leg strong. Firm up the hands and the triceps. Slide the left foot back into a plank. Hug the right knee back in. Do it again. Glide the right foot forward and through. Walk it a little to the right and pause. This time the back leg is down. If you're nursing an injury or you just don't want to do it with the back knee lifted, you can drop the knee again. Come to the fingertips. The arms are going to slide forward and you're going to hook the thumbs, guys. Hook the thumbs. Just like this. Biceps frame up with the sides of your ears. Thumbs hook and fingers get really active. Like you're pulling your thumbs apart. Grip your right hip underneath you. Swing it back a little. Activate your back left leg. So your back left leg is like the way it was in that supported plank. Come back up with your torso and rise into a crescent lunge with your thumbs hooked, your fingers pulling apart. Sit deep into your front thigh. Move the hip points and the waist forward and up. Move the shoulders away from you a little. Hold. Nice. Look up a little with your eyes. Draw the lower belly in and up. Okay, so you're going to move the torso back forward the way you got in. Hands release down. Step to a plank. Pause. Firm up the sides of your arms. Hug your left knee in. Draw it in towards the center line. Scoop out the belly. Land your left foot forward and through. Come to your fingertips. Pause here. Determine if you need your back knee down. So I'd rather you be in a supported pose than a crappy one, right? Reach your arms forward, opposite thumb. If you can figure that out, opposite thumb crosses. Biceps by your ears, hold. Grip your hips underneath you, activate your back leg. It's almost like you're gonna reach forward and land in a warrior three. Press into the ground, pull the torso up. Crescent lunge. The thumbs are hooked and the fingers are almost like it's pulling your thumbs apart. Hip points forward, waist long, gaze forward and up. Contract your right hip and your glute and sit deeper. More breath. So the transitions is just as important as the actual pose. So we're going to bring our torso back forward the way we got in. Yep. And then hands come down. Step back plank. Yep. You're right in plank. You're not taking a push-up. Hold plank. Hug your right knee back in. Do it again. Glide your right foot forward and through. Low lunge. Yep. This time sweep your arms back like airplane wings. Yep. We're just getting lots of different ways to open our shoulders this morning. Some may work for you. Some may feel fabulous. Some may be, you might not notice. Sweep your arms straight up. Crescent lunge. Sit deep into your front thigh. Drag your hands to a prayered heart. Lean forward about 2 inches and turn a little to the right. Hold. Just turn a little to the right so you're like in this hovering twist. Back leg strong. Look down with your eyes. Left hand tense. You can reach for a block. Right arm extends up into an easy twist. Once again, this can always be modified or supported with a block. The back knee can also drop. Focus on your outer hips, the strength of your back leg. Stack the 2 arms on top of one another. Look up. Twist from above the belly button. Move your eyes towards the sky. Look down. Place both hands to the floor. See if you can do this seamlessly. Step back plank. So little energy, pause and plank. Hug your left knee in. So just keeping it very clean, precise, and tight. Hug it in a little tighter. Yeah. Glide the left foot forward and through. Come to your fingertips. Make sure your feet are about hips width. Yeah. Reach your arms back like the airplane wing. Palms face down. Yeah. Breathe. There's always one person. Just kidding. Yeah, sweep your arms straight up towards the sky as you move that energy. High lunge. There's always one rebel in the house. Yeah, hip points forward, waist is long, back leg strong. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. Hands to prayer. Lean forward just a little bit. Air twist a little to the left. Keep pressing your palms together. Focus on the strength of your legs. They're strong. Look down with your eyes. Right hand to the floor, left arm open, easy twist. Sit deep, put a lot of energy into that front thigh. Stack the two arms, grow the pose from the back leg as well. Look up with your eyes. Stay with it. Look down. Focus on your right hand now. Get it flat to the earth. Roll to the outer blade, and you can move into a supported side plank, which would look like this. Top leg can bend, or stack the 2 feet, slide the left arm up. You can also stagger the front foot in front of the back foot, such as this. You can also drop your bottom knee. Lift from the bottom hip, look up with your eyes, and if you want a little more, take your top arm and wrap it forward. Spark up your toes, press away from the ground. Make this transition slow. Look down, left hand to the floor, plank. Pause in that tight plank. Roll to the outer blade of your left foot or support with your right leg bent in half, or the staggering of your right foot or your bottom knee down. Side plank, Vashisthasana with the left hand down. Lift up out of your waist. Yeah. If you like, you can take your right arm and wrap it forward, but make sure your bicep turns down. Lift your bottom hip, lift a little higher. Transition slow. Look down, plank position, pause. Bend your elbows in half or drop your knees to support, chaturanga. Keep the weight forward, slide your chest through, upward facing. Press through your hands, press through the tops of the feet. Hips up and back, downward facing dog is where we meet. Take a few breaths in, take a few breaths out. Look to the top of the mat. Take 2 big steps to get there this morning. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Your feet can come together, have a little separation. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Just stand still for a moment. Let your shoulders draw down your back. Feel your energy, feel your weight. Contract your thighs. Feel your chest open. And then reach your arms straight up towards the sky, look up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through vinyasa, it's up to you. You can always just move to a dog as well. Upward facing dog, point your toes. It is a back bend and a new breath. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Look where you want to land. Step or float your feet through to the top. Long spine, keep that weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come up, get grounded. Hands to prayer at heart center. Drop your arms. One more of these sun eights. Slide the arms up, look up a little with your eyes. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can just plant your palms and take 2 big steps to get you back, or you can float and land with bent elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing, drag yourself through, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Start to pay attention to the little subtle things in your body as you begin to open and explore that today. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Good. So feet can stay together or they can separate a little if lower back is sensitive. Slide the arms straight up towards the sky and then lower your seat into chair. So it's good to know different ways to move into the poses. Energy moves back into your heels. Chest lifts. Actually do this, guys. Cactus your arms. Yeah. Pull your shoulders down your back and pause. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the torso and the chest a little bit more. Press more into your heels. Then straighten your arms from your elbows to your fingertips. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Good. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, step, or float through your vinyasa. You pick. Good. When you get to your downward facing dog, land your right foot forward, turn your back foot on a strong angle, root to rise, warrior one. So I've been taking my warrior ones with my hands coming to prayer, slightly off-centered, like kind of in line with my forehead, and then wrapping the triceps in. So if this doesn't work for you, just go traditional. Arms can be as wide as you need them. Swinging your right hip back and your left thigh and hip and waist forward. Sit a little deeper into your front thigh. Feel the strength of your back leg. Press firm. Hands to the floor. You can just step to a downward facing dog or move through a vinyasa. It's up to you how many push-ups you want to do today. Up dog. Downward facing. Land your left foot forward. Turn your back foot strong. Come on up, warrior one. So I sweep my arms out and up. My hands meet in that prayer, off-centered. Use the outer blade of your back right foot to press down. Yeah. And then sit deeper. Sometimes you have to slide your left leg forward a little. Hands come down. Vinyasa or not. Yeah. When you get to your down dog, you pause and you breathe. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look to the top of the mat. Lightly walk, step, crawl, float. You never know what you're going to get. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair. Weights in your heels. Chest lifts. Press all the way up to a standing position. Drag your hands to prayer. Here we go. Arms by side body. Slide them straight up and then revisit that chair pose. Make it strong. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, then the legs straighten. Come to the fingertips, long spine. If you're floating, land with bent elbows. If not, just join me in the step back. Bend your elbows in half. Upward facing swings you through. Nice steps, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot strong, warrior one. So it's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's just right for you. Hands come down, plank position, chaturanga. Up dog, press through the tops of the feet. Hips up and back, downward facing. Left foot forward, back foot strong, warrior one. We're moving and grooving here. Hands come down, vinyasa or not. Sometimes I just find myself stepping right back to a down dog. Breathe in, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Nice, Maria. Long spine. You made that look easy. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair pose. Yeah, your feet can be separated. Your knees can be separated. Looks good. Move the tush back. Yeah, Dara, the form looks really nice. Really feel the weight in your heels and then shoot up to stand. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Let's do one more. Slide the arms straight up. Make it a good one. Sit deep into chair. When you forward fold, you fold over bent legs and then you dive forward. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms. You can step or float through your vinyasa. It's up to you. Upward facing moves you through. Nice work. Hips up and back, downward facing. Land your right foot forward. Turn your back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Steer your left hip and waist forward as you sit deeper. Hands come down, vinyasa, or right to a dog. When you get to your downward facing dog, here we go. Slide your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior one. Hands come down, move it through your vinyasa or not. When you get back to your down dog, pause here. Deep breath in. Exhale loud through your mouth. Yeah, just let it go. And then roll forward to plank. Take your right knee towards your right tricep in that general direction. Slide the right foot back so it hovers the mat. Draw the right knee straight in. Scoop out your belly. Slide your right foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Make sure that your feet line up, heel to heel or heel to arch. I use a block here. Place it to the instep of the foot. Tent the fingertips. Press the back of the right tricep against the inside of the right arm. Slide the left arm up. So listen, if you have two blocks or you have books, you can go super high if you want less. You can also rest your arm on your thigh. Yeah, but pay attention to your right shoulder so it's not turning in. Grip your right hip underneath you. Feel the strength of your back left leg. And then turn your bottom ribs, your right ribs, towards the sky. Left arm can slide forward by your ear. Baby finger will tip to the ground. Do it this way first. Find a lot of extension to the left side of the body. Then if you'd like to take the half bind, reach up with the left arm, wrap it around, and grab the inside of your thigh or the hip. Lean back into your right thigh a little bit. Glue your feet to the floor. Let the crown of the head kind of lean back and come over your right toes. And you want to find a place that's, you're challenging, you're kind of playing your edge, but you're not in a lot of discomfort. So you know that you can work through it. Breathe right here. Keep turning those bottom ribs. And if your arm is bound, look over your left shoulder. Unravel your left arm if you took any sort of bind. Anchor your feet, pull up warrior two. Take the bounce out, warrior two. So you might need to elongate your stance a little. Arms go super wide. Lengthen the tailbone. And sit into the pose. Close your eyes, breathe here, a few breaths. Torso is straight, yeah. Okay, great job. Take another big breath in. Straighten your right leg on track. Good. So we're setting up for triangle pose. I'm going to offer something a little different for some of you. Traditional triangles, your hand on your shin and your left arm up. If you like, you can clasp your hands like you would do for a humble warrior. Turn your torso and then pivot your torso towards the right with your hands clasped. If you'd like to try something different, if not traditional triangle, either way, right leg has a little bend behind the knee. Left leg is strong and turned in enough. And then look over your left shoulders. You may not actually go as far into the pose. Yeah. Or you could just go back to the regular deal. A few breaths like this. Turn the bottom ribs up. Feel the side of your body elongate. And press firm through your feet. Now keep the torso where it is. If you took this little extra bind, slide your right hand to your shin and reach the left arm straight up and just let that flesh blood run to your fingertips. So everybody's flexibility is different. Some people can have their hand on their shins. Others need blocks to the outside of the calf. Some can go all the way down and hook the big toe or the ankle. Wherever you are, stay in the pose, a few more breaths. If it starts to bother your neck looking up, just find neutral. Focus a lot of energy on your standing right foot and your right hip. Look down, you're gonna float from here right to a half moon. Your hand may need to come to your hip. Play with your block, how high it may need to be for you to be in this pose. It's gently off your right baby toe to the right, just a tad, and about 6 to 10 inches forward. Float the left leg up, only hip height, stack the left arm. Focus on the strength of your right foot, make sure it stays forward and your hip is gripping in. If you'd like to add the half bind, Shavasana today, you can. If not, just stay here. Remember in Shavasana, the kick does not go up, it goes behind the sacrum. And if you fall, welcome to the practice. If you took the Shavasana, just meet us in a regular half moon. Just exit nice and slow. Look down with your eyes. Left hand comes to the floor, square your hips. Feet line up together, so they're side by side. Bring your hands on your hips, come up to stand. Pause, drop your arms. Standing on your left leg, I'll turn towards you. Slide your right leg into a tree. Right leg goes into a tree. Yeah, so my right foot goes in the inner part of my left thigh, but by all means, you could be down low on your calf. Where you don't want to be is in the instep of your knee, just for safety. Your hands can be on your hips if your alignment's a little rough, or hands to prayer. Focus on the outer hips, gripping them in. This may be where you stay today. If you'd like to grow the branches of your trees, you can sweep your arms out and up. You can look up a little with your eyes. Grounding, calming asana. Draw your belly in. Lift your ribs. Hands come to prayer. Slide your right knee forward and then just step down. When you get to the top of your mat with your feet together, just sweep your arms out and up, look up, dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step or float through a vinyasa. It's up to you how you want to move, okay? Upward facing dog. Look good, Mark. Looks really good. Yeah. Hips up and back. I can see you. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Yeah. You're like, maybe my screen will pause right here and I won't have to do this part. Take your left knee towards your left tricep, just in the general direction. Slide the left foot back so it hovers. Lengthen your tailbone, look forward a little. Hug the left knee straight in, scoop up your belly. Press into the ground. Keep looking forward. Step your left foot forward and through. Take your time to set up here. Make sure your feet are lined up and they're not all over the mat. If you use the block, take it to the instep of your foot. Left hand down, right arm up. And just do the basics first and then know if you need to kind of back out. This practice teaches you to really listen to your body. If the right arm is up and you feel comfortable, your chest and your throat feels really open, then maybe wrap your right arm forward. Grip your left hip behind you. That's the hardest part. And then turn the bottom ribs. Strength of your right foot presses firm and right arm like reaches really strong forward. If you opt to stay here, that's cool. If not, reach up with the right arm, either hand to your hip or slide it around for that half bind. Look over the shoulder. Keep gripping that hip, keep turning your ribs, and breathe. Let the thoughts just kind of come and go, and then just keep using your breath to move the energy through the pose. If you took a half bind, just unravel your arm. Without too much bounce, pull yourself up, warrior two. And just pay attention to your torso. Make sure your whole torso isn't turning. It's stacked over your hips. Your left thigh drops down, your inner thigh turns open, and your arms reach across your body. Close your eyes and breathe right here. Lengthen the tailbone, sit deeper. Last two breaths. Straighten your left leg. Keep the legs set here. You're going to move into triangle pose. If you want to clasp your hands behind your back, interlace them, turn the torso a little, and then you're just going to kind of lean into it a little bit. So your hands are clasped. I turn so you can see. There's a soft bend behind my front leg, so I'm not jamming into the kneecap. And I'm finding a lot of extension through my side body. As I open my throat, I look over my right shoulder. If you're in the funky hand variation, just slide your hand to your shin or a block and reach your right arm straight up. Soften the shoulder, find the extension of your waist, and feel the ground. Be patient. So for focusing on the firmness of your left hip and your left foot staying forward, reach with your block and see if you can float very, very cleanly into half moon. I've actually lowered the position of my block and made it kind of the medium height, the low height. But by all means, you can stack up two, you can take the block high, you can lean against a wall. If you're gonna go into the Chopasana, the top leg bends, the heel goes right behind the butt. The hand grabs the ankle. You're gonna kick the foot behind the sacrum. So this is a tough one because you wanna make sure the leg doesn't go up right behind you for the true back bend. The bottom ribs turn and then you look off your right shoulder. If you're not at this point, just hang in regular half moon. If you took the bind, release into half moon, meet us there. Look down, right hand to the floor, square your hips, slide your feet together. Bring your hands to your hips, pull yourself up. Standing on your right leg, just bend the left leg into a tree here. You can use your hand to do so. Bring your hands to your hips or your hands to prayer. Fix your eyes. Grip the outer hips in. And then if you want, you can slide the arms straight up. Good, so soften your left hip, Mark. Grip your outer hips in and feel. In this type of pose, we anticipate falling. So just if you fall out, join the party. Left knee comes forward. Yep. Lower the left foot down, feet together. Sweep your arms up. Go big with your arms. Sit deep into chair. Slide your hands to a prayer. Inhale your breath. Hook the elbow, turn to the right. Yep. Chair with a twist. Your feet can be hips width if you like. Make sure that the whole left side of the body doesn't turn with you. The weight stays in your heels, your shins, your knees, your feet all line up nicely. And then open up your chest and your throat. Maybe open your arms. Keep the shape of your legs. Stay committed to it, everyone. Come up to chair. Commit here. You're going to have a sensation. Yeah, just enjoy the feeling of that. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale that breath. Hook the elbow, turn to the left. It's just a sensation. It will go away. Weight in your heels. Dig down a little deeper to get in there. Let the shoulders slide down the back and twist open. Beautiful. Yeah, open up your arms, Maria. Look up. Keep the shape of your legs. You got this. Chair pose. Dive over bent knees. Thank God, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float through your vinyasa. Yeah. Keep it moving, everyone. Upward facing, point your toes. Downward facing, hips press back. Make sure your blocks are at the top of your mat. Slide your right foot forward. Come up into crescent lunge. We get ourselves together, crescent lunge. Hands, arms reach forward. Wrap your left arm underneath your right arm. Just do this much first. Lift your elbows up. So working a little on balance. Balance is in no means perfect. So if you fall, it's okay. Focus on the strength of your right leg. You're going to wrap your left leg around for eagle. Now the foot may not get all the way around the calf, so just do your best. Move the weight into your heel, just like you did in the chair. Lift your elbows up. Left hip back, right hip forward. Sit deeper into your heel. Let your shin move back a little. Begin to move your torso down into sleeping eagle. So you're going to hook the elbow over the front of the knee, and this is optional. You can just stay up too. So we're going to unravel from here into revolved Ardha Chandrasana. So if you have a block, just unravel your arms, take the block underneath the left hand, and just slide the right hand to the flat part of your back as you unravel your left leg. And if it wasn't so graceful, that's okay. Sometimes when you do things, they don't always work out. And then look to the right. And then if you like, you can take your right arm up. It may actually feel really good to open up here. Lift from your inner thigh, flex the top foot a lot. Soften the right hip a little and hug that hip underneath you. Lift from your inner back thigh, twist open here. Keep the belly in, the waist long. 2 more breaths. Look down, take the right hand to the floor, everybody. A giant step back into a low lunge, okay? Drop your knee, keep the toes curled into the mat, just like we started the practice. Bring the arms back up, okay? Bring your hands to prayer. Inhale your breath. Hook your elbow and twist to the right. Okay, so the back knee is down in this variation. If you would like to, you're gonna stay here for a few breaths, or you can lift your kneecap up and fire up the thigh. About 3 breaths here, and then we're just gonna add on a little. Lengthen the torso, lean back a little, grip your outer hips in. So if you extended your back knee up off the ground, just join the rest of us and bring the knee back down. So just the way we started. Keep the left elbow kind of hooking to the outside of your right thigh. Your hand's gonna stay in a half prayer. Right arm's gonna reach back like you're reaching for your foot. Just stay upright, just do this much. This may be where you stay. If you know you have the range of motion to bend that foot and get hold of your ankle, do this. If this is not where you're at, just stay here. Hook the elbow to the outside of the thigh. So you're kind of giving yourself a little like assist, and the arm reaches back. If you're able to get the foot or the ankle, kick into your hand. Don't look all the way back, just look sideways, hold. Grip your right hip underneath you and breathe. If you have hold of your back foot, let that go. Everybody bring both hands to the floor, curl the back toes into the mat, step to a downward facing dog and pause. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Good, roll forward to plank, pause. Stay with me, guys. Drop to your forearms here for forearm plank. Yeah, forearm plank. Lengthen your tailbone. Keep your right arm straight forward like this, or you can turn it on an angle depending on your shoulder. Roll to the side for a forearm side plank on the right, left arm up. So my right arm is forward, but it can turn in at any angle to make your shoulder more comfortable. Left arm up, or you can wrap it forward. If you took your left arm up and forward, reach it straight up, look down with your eyes, slowly to a forearm plank. One hand at a time, plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, glide your left foot forward. Make sure you have your blocks to the top. Rise crescent lunge. Last time today. Good. Reach your arms forward like you're handing someone something. Wrap your left arm under. Lift the elbows up. Just focus on this much first. That's your breath flow. Standing left leg is your power. Right leg's going to help get the momentum. Eagle pose. Yeah, if you're like on a balcony somewhere, be careful, please. Bend into your standing leg. Swing your right hip back and your left hip forward. It's like a deep chair. Lift the elbows. Stay with this or move into a sleeping eagle, which I'm convinced is a made-up pose, but we're going to try it anyways. Hook the elbow over the front of the knee and round a little. Two more. So the transition is important. You're going to unravel the hands first, reach for the block underneath your right hand, slide the right leg back and move right into your revolved Arda. And if it's not so graceful, you can always reset, stack the body. Hand can also be on the flat part of your back, Debs. Yeah, and then lift from your inner thigh. Guys, for those of you that are really tight in your hamstrings, you can also play with pointing your right toe and then lifting from the meaty part of your hamstring. See if that gives you a little bit more. And then reflex the foot and see if you can hold. Nice. Lift from that inner thigh, Maria. You got it. So play with it a little. Yeah, there you go. I know you can do it. Last few breaths. Look down. Take the left hand to the floor. Giant step back. Place your hands down. Drop your knee, just like we started before. Sweep your arms out and up. Bring your hands to a prayer at heart. Inhale that breath. Hook the elbow and twist. I find the pose like very different when I take it this way. Like not every pose you need to feel like you're blowing yourself out of the water. So if you feel like this is really effective, stay with this. If you need a little more with that back leg, then lift up from that kneecap, fire up the glute and the hamstring, and enjoy this part of it. Lean back a little though. Open up your arms if you want a little more. Grip your outer hips in. Feel the weight in your left heel. Good. If you engaged your back knee, just lower it back down, okay? So now your right elbow is gonna stay to the outside. My hand's gonna stay in a half prayer. My left arm's gonna reach back. This may be your spot to stop. This is fine. If you can kick the heel in and grab your foot without feeling like you're pulling your leg out of the hip socket, try it. If the knee is straight up and down, it's gonna definitely be challenging. So it's kind of has to be on an angle here. Yeah, you got it. And then we want to try and take the round out of our back. So lean back a little bit and look just to the left. Don't look all the way back, just look sideways. Last two. Nice work. If you've got hold of your foot, let it go slow. Look forward. Take both hands to the floor. Fire up your back right leg. Step to a plank right here. Pause and plank. Very slowly, without the hips wavering, drop the right forearm, drop the left forearm. Forearm plank. Keep the left forearm forward or turn it on an angle if that feels better in your shoulder. Roll to the outer blade of your left foot for forearm side plank. Slide your right arm up. Maybe wrap your right arm forward. Top arm straight up, look down, slowly transition back to forearm plank. Yeah, forearm plank. Lengthen your tailbone, stay here. 6 to 7 breaths in forearm plank, or walk your feet up into a dolphin pose. Wrap your elbows in. Yeah, lift your hips up high. If you have Pinchamarasana, forearm stand or handstand, take yourself up here, maybe even go to a wall. If it's too much, just opt for child's pose and hold 5 more breaths wherever you are. Good, Maria, lengthen your tailbone, flex your feet strong, and draw your belly in. Nice. Perfect, that did it. Now see if you can lower your legs halfway. Do it slow. Yeah, you got it. Nice work, and then lower all the way when you're ready. Everyone's gonna meet us in a child's pose. Child's pose. Nice work. Curl the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Swing your right knee forward for a half pigeon, thank gosh. Half pigeon pose. We're almost done, guys. Last few minutes of work. Half pigeon and a couple back bends and hasta la vista. Yes, fold forward. You should never feel grinding in your knee in this pose, just reminding you. You should feel a very nice stretch through your hip, which is the back part, and your piriformis. Good. Use the strength of your body. Lean your weight onto the right side. Bring your right leg out a little. Left leg's going to come like you're going to go into a tree pose with your legs. So your right leg is bent, your left leg is straight out. Your right hand goes behind you. The crease of your wrist faces the back skinny edge of your mat. We're going to press up into sail pose today. It looks like this. Left foot can drive down into the mat. Left arm can reach back. Grip your right outer arm underneath you. Lift from your hip points up. Look up. Lower down with control. Swing your right knee forward so the knee points to the front edge of your mat. Your left leg comes around into seated spine twist, Ardha Chandrasana. Left hand behind you at the base. You can just give your left leg a little squeeze. What's important here is that you sit up straight. Hook the elbow, twist to the left, look over the shoulder. This is one that it's okay to look back. Make sure 2 butt cheeks are down though, and that you're not rolling all your weight or sitting on your foot. Come back to center, unravel the left leg back. This may not be so graceful, and step to a downward facing dog. When you get to a down dog, clean it up. Roll forward plank last time today. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Drive your chest through for a one last upward facing. Make it feel good. From your hips up and back, downward facing. Land your left knee forward. It's not a super long hold, so just get into it and let your body just explore. Fold into half pigeon left side. Guys, if you want to make this a little bit more restorative, you can take something, a bolster blocks, and you can kind of set yourself up like this with the palms forward. Focus on opening up the chest. Last little bit. Enjoy it. Good. Use the strength of your body. Come up nice and slow. Lean onto the left side. Make your right leg come out to the corner of your mat like you're going into tree here. Set up your legs like tree. Left hand behind you. Right leg goes strong and straight. Right arm wraps up. Look up. Just a different way to take a back bend. Yeah. Really let your throat, your chest open if you can. Exhale the breath, lower slowly down. When you hit the floor, just move your knee to the front skinny edge of your mat, your left leg, and then step your right foot around it. Hook the elbow, place the right hand behind you, or just give your right leg a little squeeze. Inhale the breath. Exhale, look over the right shoulder and twist. Come back to center. Come to the center and just take your feet into Supta Baddha Konasana. Draw your feet in as tight as you can get them today. Yeah, take your hands to the front of your ankles. Sit up really tall. Look forward. So if sitting up tall like this doesn't work, you can also take your hands right behind your back, but make sure the fingers turn forward. So you're creating a little back bend here in your upper thoracic. Flex the feet and then drop the inner thighs open. If you'd like, you can fold forward here, cup out the fingers, exhale the breath, let it go, 3 breaths. If folding forward feels crummy for you, just stay real upright. Come up nice and slow. You can keep your legs like this for Shavasana if you want. You can take a bolster, blocks behind you, lay down. You can separate your legs here, set up for rest. That's it. Lay down, make yourself comfortable. It is the most important part of the practice. So let your central nervous system just kind of plop, literally plop into the floor. Close your eyes, tell your kids you're busy. Exhale your breath, melt. Take a big full breath in. Take a slow, deep exhale breath out. And if you feel comfortable and want to stay longer, just ignore all of this. If you need to re enter the world, draw your arms up over the top of the head, reach like you're waking up for the first time. Hug your knees in towards your chest, give them a giant squeeze. And find your way, however that is, up to a seated position. But see if you could resist opening your eyes and just stay in these final moments of your practice. Bring your hands to a prayer as you arrive up. Just explore your energy. Like when you started in that first child's pose to where you are right now, there should be sometimes a great difference or a very subtle difference. Just notice that, especially as you move through your afternoon. Bow your head, have gratitude for yourself. Lift your head, open your eyes with much gratitude. Namaste. Thanks always for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions, and you know where to find me. See you next time.